that they've been taking your blood in the industrialized world for 35 years, and the program started everywhere the same year 35 years ago. See, that shows the global government is already in place. It's just sending down more tentacles, more tripods, more control systems, and building a pyramid of control up around the skeleton of the pyramid that already shot out decades ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when the big world leaders signed the agreement and the charter at the United Nations in California at the end of World War II.
Presidio.
Yeah, what they did was sign on, and they knew it at the top. Those guys at the top knew this. This whole agenda was to come from that. It wasn't about, see, world peace, you understand how they define peace.
That means everyone dead, but a few million elitist.
That's correct.
Peace means, just like the Emperor says in Revenge of the Sith, he goes, we'll kill everybody and then we'll have peace.
Yes, that's it. That's absolutely it. And they had the whole agenda worked out before they signed the charter, that they'd have to destroy the family unit, create a war between male and female, and then the government can talk to every individual and order every individual on a one-to-one basis with no one to stand up for that individual. Divide and conquer down to the individual. That was the technique to be used. Then the government would be truly, for the first time, in charge. That was the intent.
Unbelievable. Who's up next here? I got calls all over the map.
Alan in Virginia.
Alan in Virginia, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm real privileged to be on today, and usually the system will kick callers off after 10 minutes, but fortunately there was a glitch today, and the queue got cleared for me. Well, I wanted to talk with your guest today, Alan Watts, and about...
No, you know what? I'm not going to let that go by. John, there's no system that kicks callers off the phone system, is there?
No, there's not.
Yes, sir. And everybody keeps saying they're hearing a shh. That's what the Telos phone system does in talk radio to let you know you're on the air. It goes shh when we go to you, callers. So it's something with your phone if you're being kicked off after 10 minutes. But the point is, I'm not mad at you, but this is a classic kind of mental distraction here that each caller will add some little inanity to as a preface to what they're saying. I want to get to all the calls, so you've got the floor. Do you have an issue to cover?
Yes, sir. I called several weeks ago and mentioning that I was a transhumanist, or I identify as such, and I wanted to talk with your guest today about whether I've not been able to identify. I mean, I've done extensive Google searches on everything from brain-computer interfaces to on people talking about collective consciousness and stuff, and what I've found is that the most advanced brain-computer interface out there is called BrainGate, and it's not terribly impressive in itself. It's just a centimeter squared unit which can be can be implanted on the cortex, and it does provide for a limited...
Sir, they were remote controlling rats with total control, even controlling their heart rates 20 years ago. They have robo-rats deployed all over the world. I mean, they had robo-roaches 25 years ago. Are you saying... Oh, my God, just go ahead.
Well, yes, the BrainGate chip, I mean, you have to understand that if you want some dramatic result, yes, you can... get a dramatic result, like increasing the heart rate and providing a euphoric feeling.
What is your point? What are you saying we're making up? Just everything's fine, the government loves us, take your shots, basically?
No, not at all. And I think that there is a great deal of evil in the government, but I'm just saying that Mr. Watts is jumping the gun and
well, let me answer that, but with some facts for a change, okay? Delgado, who ran the FBI department on mind control at one point, was controlling bulls in the arena back in the 1950s and 60s completely. So the stuff that you're talking about and is published in the so-called magazines and so on that you look at is completely and utterly obsolete. These guys are so far advanced and stuff, they don't publish to you, but they're quite confident they can pull this off. And it's not just about getting a brain implant. Who the hell do you think is going to program you when you're in this virtual real world? Yourself? You won't be doing it.
They're programming you through the television set. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are so stupid. On the one hand, they believe that there's somehow some altruism left amongst the psychopaths that allow them to go into this virtual world, that'll be part cyborg and part this and part something else, and be allowed to do what they want. The whole intent of this virtual world is so that you can be completely and utterly controlled. You find at the World Science Meeting held in Louisiana in 2001, at Loyola University, they said our purpose is to make sure there'll be no such thing as a distinct individual.
Yeah, stay there. We're going to keep talking. I want to keep going here. Look, we're not trying to beat you up here, Alan in Virginia. But out of the gates, you just brought us some stuff that wasn't accurate about the phone system here at the network. You know, the architecture of the technological revolution, we're not saying it couldn't be empowering, as low-level transhumanists say. We understand that. The point is, it's being deployed and funded as a control mechanism, and we've been right about every step of this, and you're saying you can't find where they say they're going to use this as a control mechanism? What about the January 7th, 2000 release of the 1980s documents by the Army War College on control? I mean, this is all about control. I mean, are you saying you can't find literature about how this is being used for control, or what are you saying?
Well, I'm saying, sir, that and I've not been able to find any thinker or a group or anybody who actually discusses about human collective consciousness in any serious terms.
Well, I mean, it's not my, number one, and I appreciate your call. I mean, it's in my book, Descent into Tyranny. I've made films about it. Bill Joyce, Why the Future Doesn't Need Us, owner of Sun Microsystems, chairman of Sun Microsystems, saying the elite have decided to basically kill all of us. I mean, it's throughout the literature that the elite is going to get rid of the majority of us, and they're going to be gods empowered with all this. So you're saying, with no proof, that you can't find proof when there's a mountain of it. Alan Watt?
Yeah, it's incredible. The universities, they've had world meetings recently across the planet on the transhumanist societies, heavily funded, big foundations, big professors from all the top universities who've laid it all on the line where they're going to take the public. So this character he's either incredibly naive or he's lying.
Well, on the positive front, for 5 years, they've got brain implants where people can see in black and white now. And I think that's a positive thing, but of course it's going to be used for bad. They've got all sorts of brain chips to stop seizures and things. I mean, Aldous Huxley, whose brother ran the UN, Julian Huxley, right before he died in '62, talked about how he'd seen secret programs in the 50s with people remote controlled by wires. When my dad was at University of Texas, they were doing, he knew people were doing experiments where the pigeon would sit there with the brain implant hitting the button until it died in the pleasure centers, and this guy just says, and he says he doesn't know anything about hive minds. And I gave him an official Army report, and he just kind of goes, "Well, I haven't seen it."
And what this last fellow said too is interesting. He was into the collective mind. See, that's been pushed through all the New Age movement. We're all one. The collective mind. The collective mind means you have no mind of your own.
All right, here we go. There's a bunch of control freaks that want to try to dominate society. Who think the future belongs to them and them alone. And I'm here to tell them this is a declaration of independence against war, you pot-bellied, chicken-neck pedophiles. You degenerate, power-tripping sickos. You are going down. We're going to get our hands around your scrawny necks, you bastards. David in Texas, you're on the air. No, we already went to David. Bill in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
He's gone too. Next up is Tom.
Man, this IM system giving me callers is just all jumbled. Just tell me again who it is. We'll just try to muddle through it. Let's try to go to Eric Nordstrom and come up with a Ron Paul money bomb idea. Eric Nordstrom, you got something you want to say in England?
Alex and Alan, thanks for giving them hell. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll keep it real quick for you, because I know it's at the end of the show. I can't think of any other way to exit the show with something constructive. We put up the No New World NoNewWorldOrder.com website up with the money bomb for Chuck Baldwin. I can't think of any other candidate out there who's been more vocal against the New World Order.
Okay, we're out of time. Got to let you go. We're going to have some days this week where I just take phone calls so everybody can get on, because then they're hurried and it doesn't work well. Alan Watt, thank you for spending time with us.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
You bet. Take care. And to John B. McMillan's son, I didn't mean to sound rude. It's just, at the end of the show, it makes no sense, and I just don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, Infowars.com. Retransmission starts now with a bunch of big guests today on the streams at Infowars.com. Get the free podcast there as well. God bless you.